DIY.
Shout out to the homie Kato. He was recently interviewed on the One More Time podcast. Kato really made a huge name for himself, sharing production on TikTok and encouraging artists or whoever's on there to duet with you. In the midst of him talking about so much of his success going supremely viral to the number of 4 billion social media views all across the board, he says after going viral, the weirdest thing happened to his beat store. Or should I say, didn't happen to his beat store.
Did the beat stars start going crazy when the remixes were popping off?
The beat store just, it's pretty steady, you know, but the thing about running a beat store, it's almost like having your own retail store. And if you're not in your own retail store, then who's running the business?
Did you catch that?
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
For those of you that are in such a rush to go viral, hoping that viral can help you shortcut your business and put you in front of a bunch of different customers, you just heard from the producer that probably went the most viral on TikTok just tell you that the sales of his beat store didn't change that much after amassing over 4 billion views on TikTok. I don't know how higher up you need to hear a message of the cheapness of going viral. What people don't really acknowledge is that when you go viral, you also become more accessible to very normal people, accessible to very mediocre people. People don't really do this for a living, but hey, it would be cool to create some TikTok content and rap over one of my favorite TikTokers' beats. But for him to say that it had very little change on his BeatStars business, which is directly attached to the very thing that he's promoting, going into that, I would think, hey, I'm a producer. You know I'm a producer. You're seeing me go viral. I've got a song that actually charted. I've done work with E40, Ice Cube, Too Short. That should do it enough. Yet and still, he just said things stayed steady. That is not a business that is just passive income because you went viral.
It's its own business entirely. You'd be surprised just because something might go viral on TikTok or my beats are out there everywhere. That doesn't automatically mean that my beat store is going crazy because you still have to drive that traffic to the beat store.
Yeah.
Ain't no getting around it, fam. When you decide to start a business, whether that business be the business of being an independent artist or that business be a music producer who is making their production available for purchase, you still have a business to build up. When you hear from somebody like Kato, who has gone as supremely viral, I mean, how much more viral do you think you got to get before that theory is proven wrong? Somebody still got to work the cashier. Somebody still got to do customer service. Somebody still got to set up the automations within the business so that it can run a little bit more smoothly if you're around or not around. I'm so glad he disclosed that because I think it's going to help a lot of people who are just hoping to hit a home run and that give them all the business that's going to support their livelihood.
You still have to collect those email leads on the back end and follow up and email them and, do what a traditional retail business does. It doesn't just happen because my beats are going viral on TikTok. Those two things are not necessarily directly connected.
Bro, this is huge.
That's a gem.
Dude, this is huge.
It's a big gem.
Oh man, because I definitely was kind of on the same page as you, assuming that would be a natural, but to your point, unless there's a huge call to action even about hey, this beat's on BeatStars, we're scrolling.
Who would know?
We thought that video was dope. Me as the consumer of your content, we liked it probably. We might have commented. We moved on with our life.
Exactly. Any beat maker or producer that has a beat store will tell you that it's not passive money.
Yeah.
It's not a passive revenue stream.
Yeah.
It's a very active.
You get out what you put into it.
Exactly. 100% with a beat store. It's like literally owning your own retail front.
I love that analogy, bro.
Yeah.
You got to actively be
in the
coming
business.
up with ways to actually drive traffic. And then once you get them there, they might add a thing to a cart and then they abandon their cart. And you got to make sure you set up the appropriate triggers to follow up with them. And then
you mean just build a business. Some of you may look at this and say this is self-explanatory. Of course, this is what you're supposed to do. These are the usual steps to running a functional business. But there are so many people, they get their logo done. They spend more time on the aesthetics of their store than on the piping of their store, then on the foundation of their store, then on the books of their store, the inventory of their store. They're more so concerned with making sure that the windows in front of this proverbial storefront are clean. You got to do what any other business out here does. Don't think because we got a cool ass hustle that doesn't apply to you. Fun fact, DIYers, there was once a time that I was making beats on a PlayStation 1 on my grandmother's patio. Yeah, shout out to MTV Music Generator. Now, when I think back to those humble beginnings, it is absolutely insane that somehow it led me to working with artists like Kendrick Lamar, Absol, brands like MTV, and Van Skateboarding. And a few years ago, I was asked by a publisher to pour all of those stories, those memories, and hard-learned lessons into this. The Prosperous Hip Hop Producer by Curtis King. If you're curious, it's available on Amazon, Audible, and the Kindle platform. But if you're looking for something with a little bit more of a personal touch, you can get autographed copies directly from me at curtisking.com. If you're a true DIYer like me, then you already know that music is much more than just beats and bars. This is a journey. I love to share my journey with you. The Prosperous Hip Hop Producer, now available.
Send out your weekly, emails about like new beat, new product, whatever it is. Like, dude, imagine like how many fucking emails do you get from just the normal brands that you shop with? Like, think of it exactly that way.
Yeah.
They're not just hoping you come back to Nike.com.
Right.
Nike's on your fucking ass, bro, about like
Adidas lets me know twice a week that they got some shit
And
they want me to buy.
think about how,
and that's why they're Adidas.
It's a good point. Go look at your promotions tab if you got a Gmail account right now. Hell, if you got any kind of email, go look at your promotions tab. If it was so easy to just pull in business after going viral, wouldn't the people who spend millions and millions of dollars to ensure that they're in front of your eyes via Instagram ads, Twitter ads, X ads, via, that sounds dirty, X ad sounds dirty, via football games, your baseball games, your basketball games, wouldn't they be the ones that can actually prove that right for you? If that's the case, then why in the hell do they keep showing up every single week in your emails? Some of them daily. I get emails every day from Domino's and I'm like, pizza, that's not even a every delivery, at least not for me and my lactose intolerant self. That's not an everyday activity. How in the hell did pizza got more to talk to me on a daily basis than somebody I bought a beat from?
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
Better get your ass out here, stop playing. You ain't bigger than Nike. You not bigger than the system. You not bigger than Adidas. If they are steady pushing out emails, I'm not saying that you got to do what they do, but you got to understand, if they don't feel like they're the exception to the rule and these are multi-billion-dollar businesses, going viral is not enough. And you heard from the viral king himself.
Think about how big these brands are.
Exactly.
Like, no one's thinking about the Kato on the Track beat store on their daily.
They're not taking a shit. Let's just bring it full circle. They're not taking a shit thinking about you.
I wonder if this motherfucker dropped anything on the store today.
Yeah, let's check it out.
Shout out to the One More Time podcast. Shout out to Kato for being so honest about it. I really feel like that's part of Kato's appeal and why so many people gravitate towards him. You still got to do the work. And I think it's so easy for us to dedicate all that work to just building out outer aesthetics. But until you take care of the foundation, I'm not just giving you that advice, I have to give myself the advice as well, because as artists, as creatives, it's so easy to spend hours and hours and hours and hours on just the outer aesthetics, on kicks and snares, on logo colors, on t-shirt designs. Because it's just fun. It's an extension of your art. However, if you don't set up the proper automation, the lead magnets, or if you don't know what those are, if you're not looking those up, you're not sending out your newsletters, which is something I gotta definitely get back on, you really gotta question what is the foundation that your business is standing on. Going viral is not enough. And when you hear it from somebody who's had over 4 billion views tell you, hey, didn't really change my beat sales, kind of stayed steady. After he's had songs with Tiger, going viral is not enough. You still got to build a business. But those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think. DIYers, if you enjoyed this content, make sure that you hit the like button and maybe even consider subscribing. Come on, man. Stop being greedy. Peace.